Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. As you're coming into the room, let us know you're here. Tonight we have a great show. I'm going to start bringing our guests in shortly, our co-hosts as well. Tonight we're speaking with Miss Lina Santiago and her partner Mo um, from the Penthouse Cafe in Brooklyn. And of course, this is the set 6145, and tonight we're hosting our segment of Canna We Talk with the ladies. So without further ado, let me start bringing them in. Here we have from the set 6145, we have Selly Sasong in the building.
What's going on? What's going on?
What's
Are
going
you
on,
up my
bro?
nostrils or is it good?
Nah, you
You
good.
good?
You good. Lean forward a little.
Right.
You got a Ronald? You got a Ronald?
Nah, nah.
You're good. You're good. You're good. You go. I'm fucking around. And as always, the ladies of Canna Kitchen, Lee and BB.
Hello, everyone.
Can you see our shirts? We got the shirts.
Oh,
Let's go.
let's go. Mira pa allá. There we go.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Game nice.
Can't see it though.
We want to say salute and safe travels to the third partner, the third musketeer of Canna Kitchen, Miss Elisa, who's in Puerto Rico right now, correct?
She actually just got back, though. She just got back.
Oh, she just got. Oh,
She
that's
was
right.
visiting her mom, and she just got back.
Right. All right. Well, so tonight we're going to be speaking to Lina and Mo, right?
Correct.
I was catching myself. I'm like, wait a minute, did I just forget his name?
You
Aviejo.
got it.
So tonight we're going to talk all things cannabis. We're going to talk about the Penthouse Cafe, and hopefully we'll have a good time and an informative conversation as usual, right?
Correct.
Want to teach?
We're all about putting the information out there.
That's what's up. Sally, how you feeling, bro? You look
I'm
distracted.
good, man.
You dodging traffic?
Yeah, I'm in the car, so it's like, gotta watch the ops. You never know who's out here, you know what I'm saying? You know?
It's crazy out there, so keep an eye out.
Yeah, man.
For real. And salute to our missing counterpart, Miss B Chanel. I'm hoping she's having a nice, relaxing moment today. But we'll be back in full gear next week, Wednesday, as you know. So, ladies, tell us about our guests today. Why don't you talk about a little bit about their backstory and how you guys came to know them?
Well, I mean, we got to meet her through Canna Kitchen. When we started promoting our business through Instagram.
Yeah, through supporting women in cannabis. When we were doing our research, we were looking at
different pages.
Basically all different people that are in the cannabis industries in different aspects. And the Penthouse was something that definitely caught our attention. We're all about supporting the women in cannabis. So finding a fellow Latina that is doing her own thing and has an amazing place. We actually went down to see it.
We actually reached out.
That's how it
first.
started.
We reached out. We were like, hey, this is really cool. This is really dope.
This is what we're doing. We like what you're doing. And that kind of started the conversation. And then we took it a step further. Once we realized we wanted to, we don't have a brick and mortar. So we do pop-up events, and we wanted to do a place where
she was nice enough to offer it. Actually, she said, come through, check out what we're doing. Women empowerment. Let's do something. Right off the bat, we told her our story, and she's like, let's do something.
Let's work together.
She's super welcoming.
So it's been great. And then go see the place, and when you go, the vibe of the place is really good.
Yes.
It's in a very nice area, so you're not walking into an area where you're like protect your neck. It's an awesome area, and the place, it really can be. It's like so multi-dimensional. There's so many things you can do in a spot like the Penthouse Cafe. Being that 420 friendly, it just helps us. It provides a place where we can put our products out there and create, in a 420 environment, a friendly environment, and and in talking to her and getting to know them more, her and Mo, just the more information we find out, the more impressed we are with all the moves that they're making and how they're moving. They're very strategical in what they're doing. So
Like minds, very like-minded.
Correct.
Very like-minded.
Correct.
So props to them.
And yeah, we're learning from them. So it's so far it's been amazing. So having her on the show was also a no-brainer, you know. Getting we all have the same goal, is to get the information out there and get people to know about cannabis and the consumption and all the properties that it has and how good it could be for people. So ultimately our goal is the same. So, you know, working together was, like Bibi said, a no-brainer.
It was and the fact that, you know, she was willing to work with us. We're actually having an event at their place.
Well, that was going to be my next thing. Before we start, two things before we bring in Lina and Mo. What are you guys wearing? Yeah, buddy.
Wait a minute. Go. See that right there?
Not really, but it's on there.
I know. We need a...
I'm gonna make y'all new ones. Stamp
it better.
And secondly, tell everybody about the event before we bring in Lina and Mo.
Oh, so this Saturday, Canna Kitchen is going to be working in conjunction, and we're going to be doing a Taste of the Holidays mixer. Correct. We're going to showcase all our cannabis infused products, which is our cooking oils, our canna sugar, and of course our signature canna frito. We're going to prepare some foods for some tasting and some sampling. Have some music, create a buzz, get a nice little mixer going, and have our people come in and
swag bags.
Yeah, we got the whole night planned. Music, food, mixing together, DJ, the whole shebang.
Wonderful.
Nice.
Very wonderful. So everybody, if you heard that, you can go to the Canna Kitchen Instagram and go check out the flyer, their events. Well, let me just say this. Their products are impeccable. I'm talking about from flavor, preparation, everything is there. So if you want to come check out a good event, if you're a consumer of cannabis, you want to learn, you want to network, come on down to the Penthouse Cafe, Saturday, December 3rd, correct?
Correct. You can find us on Instagram, on our personal pages. If you don't know us personally, you can go to the Canna Kitchen, CANNA_kitchen, but instead of a E, it's a 3. Slide in our DMs and we'll give you any information What?
You said slide in the DMs. All right. Yeah. Without further ado, let's welcome from the Penthouse Cafe in Brooklyn, Lina and Mo. Let's bring them in real quick.
Hello.
Hey guys.
Hi.
How you doing? Welcome to the show.
Hello.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Wonderful. We love Brooklyn. Right? We got to support our people.
Yes, it's the Brooklyn way.
That's right. With love. Everything with love.
So what I'm most interested in is to get your story before we get to the more educational piece of the discussion. So I don't know about you guys, Sally and ladies from Canna Kitchen. When I look at this couple, because this is a working relationship, right? When I look at them, all I want to know is, how did this come to be? Like, how did you guys come to actually understand that you were both on the same page from a business standpoint? And then how is it that you come to be? Like, how do you meet each other and then decide, you know, I want to go into business with this person?
I don't know. It kind of just happened. It just happened. Like, you know, we found that we were like-minded when it came to business, and we had the same goals and we're on the same page. And it's really rare to find in someone or in a partner in general.
Right.
And I think it was the universe, because it just works.
Wonderful.
What do you think?
Yeah, you know, I have a lot of crazy ideas when it comes to business, and especially in the cannabis industry. You know, I don't like to limit myself. And Lina has really been one person that when I'm like, hey, what do you think of this? She's like, yeah, I think you could do that. I think we could do that. And I'm just like, excellent. Because you know,
Art. Yes.
The sky's the limit. The
You know,
sky's the limit. I
talk to
have no
certain
limits.
people. You talk to certain people in life, and you tell them, you know, maybe your dreams or your aspirations, or maybe a goal that you might have, or a vision that you might have, and not everybody gets to see that. You know, not everybody sees the vision that you have, and that's why I guess they call it your vision. You know.
No, or people are like, oh, you're crazy. Oh, you're gonna do that? It's not gonna work. Never, never.
But then you have their thing later on.
So, you know, when you have somebody
The
that sees
only-
your visions and is willing to push forward your vision the way that you want it to be done, and she has a lot of great visions as well. Like, it's not just that I come up with all this. She has some great visions, some great ideas. The movement in cannabis and opening the Penthouse was really all her idea, you know. That's why I really don't get too much involved in what she does in terms of running the Penthouse and the way that she has it organized and who she does business with. I'm there to support, you know, the way that she supported me in my visions. I try to support her in that vision. And I'm very strong on supporting, you know, small businesses, especially women in business, because I feel like in a male-dominated space, or in, you know, what has been considered a very male-dominated space, women in power really hold more strength than they understand in what they do know. So I've always been able to support her and show her that, hey, you got this, you know what I mean? And I want you to go and run with it and put yourself out there, you know, do podcasts like this, do shows like this, because you have the ability to help other people and give other people the inspiration to do what you're doing. Maybe not exactly what you're doing, but go out and try to make something happen as a woman by herself, you know, or maybe with someone who supports her the way that I support her. So she's really amazing. And the way that she's caught onto my ideas and the ideas that she comes with on her own are really phenomenal. Really, she's just an amazing person as a businesswoman, as a leader in this industry, as a pioneer. She's really has put her foot forward in this industry, and I love working with her. It's been an amazing ride.
Jesus
The only
Christ,
ideas that don't work, the only ideas that don't work are the ones that ain't tried.
that's a fact.
You know what I mean?
Oh,
Exactly. And I find that a lot. Like,
How did you guys meet? Mi gente, MySpace. How was it?
nah.
we met through I used to work at a restaurant, and I worked there for 10 years, and Mo used to come eat there all the time.
You know why?
Mm-hmm.
And I was
Yeah.
Pantalón estaba pintado.
I didn't know her. I didn't know her when I was going to eat.
Yeah, I know. We know
You
how
was
it works.
trying to get to know her.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
It
That
was
sex
actually
was extra.
it was actually a mutual friend that introduced us.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. One of my, you know, so my one of our mutual friend was like, oh my God, like, you know, I don't know, but I think like you and this person need to meet, you know, and she told him the same thing, and we were like, all right, fuck it. So then one day, actually, he came to the restaurant with some weed.
The
He
definite
gave it to her.
icebreaker.
Yeah, gave it to her,
Match made in heaven.
and she doesn't. And she doesn't smoke, so she was like, I think you should take this. I think you should definitely try this and call him.
You know what? You know what's crazy?
I was like, damn, it's good. I'm gonna call him.
That's a
I
good
want to be her friend.
What's crazy to me is that is twofold. What's crazy to me is, one, I wasn't even aware that you guys were an item, right? Two, Mo, the way you speak about Lina, I think a lot of men need to understand it, especially in this moment. When you're in a situation, I mean, when you're in a relationship with somebody, it's direly important to support them, no matter what. You could think their shit is crazy. You could think it won't work. But the fact that you speak the way you do about what she's doing, you know, that gives us life. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Super commendable. Super commendable.
Absolutely.
The partnership in
Yeah.
the business too,
Yeah.
you know.
And to
Yeah.
be able to look at someone as an individual and put them on their platform that they deserve because of all the work they're doing, and see them as that, and not just, you know, your other half. It's actually that doesn't need you to stand by them to define them, but they actually define themselves, and you support that. It's major. It
Now,
just
let's face it.
pushes it Forward tenfold.
You know, and let's face it, you know, he's a dude, girl. You know,
Right.
he's talking, you know, like you just said, it's a male dominating environment or business. So
Yeah, and he always said that. He was always like, I'm like, damn, you know, you sure? I'm like, no, but you talk to him because you're a guy. You know what I'm saying? Like you know, because just being Dominican and growing up like in a traditional home, you know, the way I did and being raised the way I am, it was always like, you know, los hombres se hablan con los hombres, you know, and it's like, you know, when two men are talking, it's like you know, you stay out of it, and you know, I don't know if that's right or wrong, but that's the way I grew up, you know. So he was the one that kind of got me out of that. Like, yo, listen, go ask for the money. He's gonna give it to you because he's a girl. You know what I'm saying? Like,
He's gonna give it to you because he sees me standing here.
yeah.
You better up that shit. Because you're gonna talk nice. I'm not gonna talk nice. Go talk to him.
You know,
Come on,
go make that connection, you know, and it's true. He's like, yo, in a male dominated world, when a girl picks up the phone and she makes that call, hey, how are you? You know, it's totally different. It's totally different. So he's really put me on that platform and kind of encouraged me and given me the strength to be that way, you know. So yeah, in a space where I was not uncomfortable with men, but you know, it also happened to me in the kitchen too. It's a male dominated, you know, it's a male dominated area, like it really is, just because you know, I'm making pizza dough and flour, and the bags of flour weigh 50 pounds a piece. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just you know, the pots and pans in the kitchen are heavy. So it's just, you know, it was like I have the experience coming from that background, and then him supporting me and putting me on the platform that he has helped me get to is really been crucial to my growth.
And it's beautiful to see. It's
beautiful
very
to hear.
very beautiful to see and hear.
I think that what you guys have achieved is not only an understanding of who you are to each other, but understanding the balance. Because it's okay for Lina to be who she is and do what she does, and it's okay for Mo to do what he does and be who he is. And you guys don't interfere with that, and it's important.
Oh, it's big time important. You know, there's a lot of times where, let's say, you know, in this, like we said, male dominated space where I should have taken the front lines and stood up and said something. But in order for her to gain her respect in this industry, she's got to stand up, put her foot forward, and open her mouth. You know, and I'm right here to back you up. If anybody gets out of line or anybody says something stupid or someone gets disrespectful, you know what I'm saying? They're going to realize that she's not standing alone, and that you can't do that to her. You know what I'm saying? She does have somebody, or she has people behind her that are willing to fight for her causes and what she believes in order to make her dreams and her realities and her visions come true. You know, I've been dominating this space for a very long time in New York, not only in New York, on the East Coast and on the West Coast. And it was really easy for me to push myself, or not say, let me rephrase that, not push myself, but step aside to make room for her to step up so that she can have a piece of that space as well. And now, you know, we dominate that space together. People know that you're talking to Lina. If, you know, you're eventually going to talk to Mo if things aren't going the way Lina wants them to go. In the terms of
how you doing?
in terms of disrespect, because, you know, a lot of males today, when they talk to women, they kind of talk a little condescending, you know, they talk down to them, or they kind of dismiss them, you know, and that's something that has been in the past. So look, I'm sure everybody can tell I'm Italian, you know, I'm Sicilian, I'm first generation born American. My parents were both born in Sicily. I grew up with a very hard, strict family, you know what I mean? My father was very strict. Spanish culture and Italian culture is very similar in the way that we raise our families, very traditional, very man-dominated, just like this space and other spaces. And, you know, it wasn't hard for me to step to the side and give her that opportunity, because I feel like this is a time in life where women are projecting to the forefront of everything that's going on. And why not give them that space? Why not soften the space that we're in with a beautiful face and a smile and a nice greeting when you answer the phone? I mean, I'm sure people love talking to me, and I love talking, as you can tell, but it's so much better when Lina answers the phone. You know, when people call and she's like, hey, how are you? This is Lina. How you doing? They're like, oh, hey, I wasn't expecting to talk to a girl or to a female, as opposed to
Well,
when
for
I
a
answer the
long
phone.
time, I used to pretend like I was a guy.
On the
On the
texting
phones,
people.
yeah, on the phones.
Oh, you got to
No,
give us an
don't do that.
example. Come on.
Yeah, I gotta
I
hear.
used to pretend like I was a guy just because.
Mira, hazlo ahora, hazlo. Hazlo.
Yeah. Let's hear the guy.
Hello?
No, mainly through text.
Like
You know?
through text,
Leon.
people will be like, people will be like, yo, bro, because they assume that you're a man, a man and stuff like that, on our retail line and stuff like that. And so people would literally, even online, even on IG, yo, bro, I'm coming through. Yeah, bet. You know what? No problem. Here's the address. Come
That's the
through. They
giveaway
show
right
up.
there.
They show up and they're like, you own this. I own this place. Welcome. So I did that for a long time just because, like I said, you know how I was raised, and I always really felt like it was a male dominated space. And like even selling cannabis on the side when I was in the restaurants and stuff. It's like, if you're a girl, like, guys will rob you. Like, I've been robbed just because I'm a girl.
Yes.
And that's the reality of the industry. So
Right.
that's why most of the time on the phone or on IG and stuff like that, I used to pretend like I was a guy.
Wow.
So, and then, people will come up or meet up with me and they're like, oh my God,
That is something
you're a girl. Yes, I am.
doing well. So that's even better. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, for real.
Yes.
How do you guys manage the day to day and for the space? Are you guys very with the understanding that I'm dealing with this, you're dealing with that, so to speak, or you both just picking up the pieces as you run through the day to day?
Well, there's things that like I'm really good at, and that's why a partnership works, because there's just things that I do really well, and there's things that he does really well. So we kind of play to our strengths when going through our day. Like, okay, hey, we have to get these things done, and I'm like, okay, listen, I can do this and I can do that, and then he picks up where where I leave off, or we work together that way. We play to each other's strengths.
Wonderful.
It just makes life easier
Is
that
there
way.
conflict? Is there any conflict ever?
There's always conflict.
Misunderstanding?
Not day to day, but there's always conflict, especially
Listen, I'm
when...
Dominican and he's Sicilian. Eso dice todo, ¿no?
Go get your fucking necktie. Get out of here.
You know what? I have a question. Because you mentioned, you come from a very strict family as well, Mo. And then Lina, you're Dominican. So how did your family take it when knowing that you were
interracial?
Yeah. Well, not only that, not even that. It's just working with cannabis, dealing with
cannabis.
Yeah.
It's been something I've been fighting with my mom about it for a long time, for a really, really long time. And to be honest with you, because the first time she ever found my weed was I came in, I had bought I had like a little eighth in my pocket, that I had bought. I was real young, and it was in my jacket. And she has to pick up everything that's around the house, like nothing can be left around. It was in my jacket. She picked up the jacket right in front of me, and the eighth fell out.
Eso fue Dios.
You a dope fiend. You a, oh my God,
Yeah, and the weed back then didn't come in.
Ya tú sabes, me dijo de todo, te canta, I don't even know how she didn't put me in rehab or some shit like that. So I don't know. I've been smoking for a really, really long time, and she always fought me on it. And she would be like, Dios te va a quitar eso. Dios te va a quitar eso. Yeah.
Wow.
But we opened the Penthouse, and weed was legalized here, and it just really took me to be like, hey, like, this is what I'm gonna do. Like, I've been doing it for a really long time. Like, so if you love me, like, you're just gonna support me. Right. And it just became kind of something that like we didn't talk about anymore. It's like, hey, how's your cafe doing? Like, your cafe is doing great, And then it came to a point where she started telling everybody. Now my mom's telling everybody I have a cafe, this, that. So all my aunts, my uncles are like, yo, give me the address to your cafe, and I'm like, Dios mío.
Oh, the bingo ladies are going over there.
I'm like, pero how? Because they don't know that it's like a cannabis what type of cafe it is.
Mira, make them some tea for the arthritis, and they're gonna love you.
Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah. So basically, I started weaning my mom and having her use CBD, and then kind of like looking up, the uses of CBD and what it does. And she's, oh my God, pero this helps your bones and it's good for your face and this, that, whatever. Viste.
Yeah,
Viste. Viste. Ahora la drogadita eres tú. She goes, shut up.
Well, I similar story, same thing. And even when I started Canna Kitchen, it was one of the things we talked about when we came on the show. I didn't have the conversation. I didn't have like a straight conversation with my mom. She just kind of knew that I was a cannabis consumer. But I recently found out that she had a conversation with my sister, and she was asking about the sofrito, the canna frito. And she said, she goes, you know what? Because they live in Florida. She goes, when I come to New York, I'm going to get me one of her sofritos so that way I can try it at home. And maybe this is something Lisa and I can talk over and bond about.
See how it makes her feel.
With me, but she had it with my sister. So I think, and it's like you said,
I gave her CBD and she gave it to the neighbor. And she was like, ella tiene un dolorcito. Y ella dijo que se puso eso y olvídate. Olvídate. Now she got the whole building on CBD and THC rubs. I'm like, okay.
And that's what I think it is.
Mom Dukes is the plug.
I told her, she's like, tráeme una cremita para. Oye, Carmen, no te ponga a vender droga, Carmen. Because I'm always fucking with her when it comes to that kind of stuff, So
yeah, but I think part of it is the education. What we, what you guys are trying to do, what we're trying to do is put the education out there, put the information out there, and once people know, those blinders start to come off.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's very important in our industry.
Things. There's children that suffer with seizures. You give them the THC, they don't got to take the phenobarbital. And their seizures are substantially less. There's just so many wonderful things that it does. Now that they know this, they start to look at it a little differently and not through the same eyes as it's a street thing. It's a bad thing.
Oh.
It's
phenobarbital is a narcotic itself. So I mean, they should look at it. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's a controlled substance that comes from a money-making market. We're not looked at as the doctor when you're treating patients. I never like to call any of my clients customers because I feel like it takes away from what we're really trying to do. And for us, one of the main things that I expressed to Lina when we first got into this business together was that it's very important that we know the education behind cannabis and being able to tell people that this is more than just a get high, smile, laugh, and feel stupid type of drug. This is a go to sleep when you can't sleep. This is a make you eat when you can't eat. This is a calm you down when you're stressed out.
Yeah.
This, it's beyond all of that. This is taking away the pain in everything that you have physically, mentally, whatever it might be. You know what I mean? So there's so many benefits to cannabis, and it goes beyond CBD. CBD was a play to introduce cannabis to people who were.
That's how I did it with my mom. Yeah.
Just like she said with her mom. Weed is so bad for you, and then okay, try this because it's not going to make you psychoactively, feel different, and it's going to keep you same level-headed, same level-minded. You're not going to go and feel a different type of way as when you smoke a joint or you take any kind of THC in your product. For me, when I was young, my mom and dad, like I said, are both off the boat from Sicily. My grandfather was very, very strict. They grew up very, very poor. So when they came here and they saw that I was smoking weed, they were like, what the fuck is this? My mom lifted up my mattress and saw 5 pounds under my bed. I was 13 years old and she was like, what the fuck is this? And I was just like, yo, it's medicine, you know?
I got a funny story
And
like that.
I've been smoking weed now for 28 years. I took a 7-month break when I was 17 because my mom wanted me to take a city job that I turned down after they called me. Didn't tell nobody. I just ripped it up and threw it away. And now I'm taking my second break in life, which has been 9 weeks. It's been very, very agitating and stressful.
He's been real cranky.
I wouldn't say cranky. I'm just
Cranky.
shaking. I'm just shaking the leaves a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And letting everybody know that things that I was, comfortable with because cannabis was allowing me to just
Skate
like, it's okay. Like, now it's like, nah, that's not okay anymore. And so clearing my mind is really what I'm trying to do right now because there's using cannabis and then there's abusing cannabis. And I was smoking an ounce and a half a day in Dutchess, and
Look at his face. It's true. He smokes 3 gram blunts.
I smoke 4 gram Dutchess. I smoke 8 to 10 blunts a day.
Look at his face.
I wake up in the morning. It's the first thing I do. I smoke a 3-4 gram blunt, and then I get in my car and I'm smoking to where I gotta go. I get to where I gotta go. I'm smoking again.
Yes.
It becomes a lifestyle.
Mo, I hate to cut you off, Mo. I want to jump in real quick because I want to play devil's advocate, right? So I want to jump on the other side because there are people that don't believe in it, right? So, but you're saying you're cranky and things like that. So that means there's an addiction, no?
Well, not that it's an addiction, is that cannabis was allowing me to slow down my mental thought process and allowing me to really absorb, what people were saying, good or bad, in a way where I didn't get overworked, mentally.
Mm-hmm.
I would be able to just calmly stay calm and be able to deal with it in my own manner. But a lot of times what happens is when you're smoking that much, and it's not because I was addicted, it's more or less because I do so much daily, like we own several businesses.
Mm-hmm.
We have over 1,500 members in our cannabis community. We have the Penthouse. We have another spot in Far Rockaway.
We have a tobacco farm in Dominican Republic. Projects we're developing over there. It's a lot.
We're doing a lot. Thank you. And,
I'm addicted to soda. And when I stop that, I'm a nasty bastard.
Yeah, and it's
wow.
You were nasty before you started smoking weed. You just didn't realize it. Cannabis took that away because it gave you the ability to calm down. It gave your mindset the ability to relax. I wake up in the morning and I'm already thinking of the next 100 things that I need to do. Now that I'm not smoking, it's hard for me to put those things in order. But when I was smoking, it was able to allow me to slow down and be like, all right,
process. For me, that's what it is.
These are the things that I need to do today. Where am I going to start? And it started with, I need to smoke a blunt.
A big pharma will put you on Adderall. Big pharma will put you on Adderall to get your thoughts in order.
But that's what a doctor would do. A doctor would give you Adderall, and now you're addicted to a drug because Adderall is very, very addicting. Not only
it is.
It's very harmful for your organs, your intestines. It's bad for your brain. Psychologically, in the long run, it's going to deteriorate you. You know what I mean? Look at the way their bodies look, their faces look, how they seem like they're 5 to 10 years older.
Tell you something. I work for a pharmacy, so the patients that I see, that I have, they're all. Listen, I'm not going to name the pharmacy, but they are. It's an addiction. You can see how they change. You can.
And it's not the pharmacy's fault. It's not the pharmacy's fault. It's it starts at the top.
Mm-hmm.
They know what they're doing. They know what they're giving you. They know what they're pushing. They know what the side effects are. These drugs that they're coming out with today, new in the market, they've been testing them for 20 years. Just to make sure that it's something that's going to be addictive. It's going to hurt, give you other effects that you got to go take another medicine that they're making, and again, they can't control how much cannabis you're growing in your house, and they can't make money off of something that you're producing yourself. And that's really where it comes down to, unfortunately.
Yeah. Everybody starts to have their own little garden or put a cannabis plant in their gardens already. People are going to start learning you could buy the machinery and do the stuff yourself.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
It's a major threat, and I feel that's what's trickling into us being able to get licenses, micro licensing, and all these gray areas because they don't know how they're going to be able to put their hand in the cookie jar yet.
Facts.
Yeah.
And that's another reason, why they've made it so hard for people to get licenses. even the social equity, program that they got going on is a mess, because in reality, anybody that's in a lower tier of society, let's say, the blue collar guy, is not able to afford the $100,000 that you have to pay a lawyer to fill out these applications, whether they make the application $2,000 or not. So now you have to go out and find funding. You have to go out and have somebody come to you and be like, oh, you have a cannabis crime? Let me fund, your application. Let's go into partnership. So is that guy really the owner of the company? No. Is that guy really the guy in charge of that license? No. So if I give you $200,000 and all you had was a criminal record in cannabis, who's the real boss? So there's so many plays that they try to do to manipulate the situation and to make you think like, they're doing it for you, but in reality, they're really not. Yeah. And
the system's rigged. They're going to change the game on us. That's what the Bitcoin and all the stuff and all that. They're just waiting to change the game on us because we're all figuring out how to get there.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And it's sad. It's sad because, these are human beings that are taking advantage of human beings, rather than care about the consumer or care about the next guy who's going through things. Look how many people are on medication and can't afford it. And, you don't got insurance. Oh, well. But you can grow a plant in your backyard for free that will take care of all of that.
Yeah.
But then you got to go to jail, or you got to pay hefty fines, or you got to be labeled as a degenerate or a drug addict, and that's the real problem with today's society, whether they break the stigma or not. But that's why we need to work so hard as people in the cannabis industry to educate people.
Stigma,
right? That's where we come in. That's where all of
Yeah, and it starts with people like us educating our parents, right? Letting them know that, hey, I'm not a pothead.
It's correct.
Get in that 401k. Give us some money.
Cough it up. Literally, cough it up.
I wanna
over cannabis. So the fact that that's what we're doing, and we're starting because then they talk to their vecinas, their neighbors, their friends. They have their little coffees and they're having this conversation. And that's how it starts to get up. It's word of mouth. Yeah. And getting the old school people on board is it's going to be a big help, But
absolutely.
Yeah.
Doña Carmen, the plug.
I think
are you a mom? Are you a Canna mom?
I am. I'm a Canna mom.
Okay,
I am a Canna mom.
That's what I say. Educating, starts from home. Like, how do you
handle that?
Yeah.
Well, my son is older now. I have a 16-year-old.
Okay.
So do I.
Yeah, so I have a 16-year-old, and I don't know. I had him real young, and we kind of grew up together. So it's kind of something that that he knows, and we don't. I haven't really had a conversation with him about it. It's kind of like, hey, that's mom's thing, and that's what she does. And, I don't consume inside my house or anything like that. It's always outside or in the backyard or stuff like that. So I don't openly consume around my children as a mom, but I know there are moms who do. I'm not, opposed to it. But yeah, just because I don't like the way it smells, for the children and stuff like that. But I am a Canna mom, and they see me smoke all the time. They
that with my son. He's a 16-year-old too, but he understands what mom does. He understands that I also use it for medicinal purposes. He knows about the Ghana kitchen, about the business. So I feel like it's just, I feel like at this point we need to be very transparent.
Well, I had to tell him because he got a little girlfriend and stuff, and he goes, mom. My girlfriend's mom kind of wants to come down to the cafe. And I'm like, please do not tell all the moms that I sell weed, please. We've came this far. Please don't start telling all the moms.
Tell them. They'll all be in the cafe. Yeah.
Best customers.
That's what he said.
That's it.
Friend.
New members.
You tell your friends, and your friends might come by once in a while. But you tell people that are in a similar situation as you and that are not your friends, those are the people that are going to actually come and support you.
Yeah.
Those are the people that are going to come down and realize that you're doing the same thing as them and taking them out of an uncomfortable zone and making them feel comfortable in that situation.
Yeah.
And it's very important that you share that with your kids, friends, parents. You know what I mean? Like, hey, it's cool if you smoke weed.
No, but I mean,
You know what I mean?
I just didn't want it to be like, oh my God, no, you can't. Like the mom, oh my God,
I
you
don't
can't
want
go
you
to that.
around
You
her no
can't go
more.
to. You can't go to his house because
Yeah.
his mom's So I just didn't want. For me, that's what it's like. Like I said, I'm old school when it comes to all of that and the type of household that I grew up in. So
upbringing, that thought, that stigma that is gonna stick if they find that out about you. That's what it is about breaking those generational curses.
Well, because on top of the stigma, I'm 33 and my kid is 16, so like now there's a bunch of stigmas I'm working through and breaking. And just the stigma of cannabis when it comes to my child is just one that I just didn't want to deal with. I don't want to deal with.
I think what helps that situation is the fact that she has a Penthouse cafe where it's cannabis friendly. Because now you have an actual business, and people are like, oh wow, it's a business? You mean she's not running out into the street and handing people tied up Ziploc bags?
My 6-year-old is very supportive about it. He goes, aren't you a CEO? Like, don't you have your own, when he's trying to get me to buy video games and stuff like that. He's like, aren't you a CEO? Like, don't you have your own business? And then
the black card.
Yeah, the other day he wrote, like, in school they asked you to write something about your mother or whatever the case is. And he wrote, like, my mother sells something that makes a lot of money. He didn't write what I sell.
Avon.
Yeah, she's the Avon lady.
I was like, all right, that's my kid, man.
Yeah.
What I find amusing about the stigma, and maybe you guys can understand and relate, would you rather have your daughter's boyfriend's mom be in this business, or would you rather have her be in the pill business where she's selling whatever to get her pills, right? Yeah.
I tell Lina all the time, look, you should be proud of what you're doing because you're not selling a drug like everybody's made it out to be. As great as those movies in the 70s were, like Cheech and Chong, they really are,
they're bad for
influence. It's a bad knock on the industry, They make people think that we're retarded, like, oh, you smoke some weed, you're dumb, you're gonna laugh, you're gonna eat the whole house now. That's not how it goes, Just sometimes,
Sounds like my kid. Hold on.
I have 2 small children myself. My kids are 6 and 4.
Right.
When I was consuming cannabis, I was breaking up in front of them. I was smoking in very ventilated areas in front of them and letting them know that this is daddy's medicine. And when daddy wakes up in a bad mood and daddy smokes some medicine, it allows him to deal with the knee pain and the back pains and the herniated discs and, all the problems that I've had. And it allows me to slow my mental thought process down and not deal with things, but be able to attack things that I needed to get done, as opposed to trying to take my bicycle to the car wash. You know what I mean? And in that sense, when your mind is always racing, you're always trying to do the next thing without completing something first. And I guess a lot of people would call that ADHD or whatever they want to call it. Me, I just call it, my mind is overstimulated. And I'm always trying to work and I'm always trying to do things that are going to be the next movement or the next wave in my life. You know what I mean? The next trend for me, what Mo.B is doing and what Lina's doing. And it's very important that my kids understand that that's a very big part of my life. This way, nobody outside of my home can try to make me look bad to my children. And that's another way of breaking that stigma is being transparent with your children from day one, not hiding it. Like a lot of my neighbors were hiding it. And then when they, I told you guys earlier, I moved to a new area a little bit outside the city. And my neighbors would come over and I would light up my Dutch right in front of my kids outside. I'm by my barbecue and my kids are playing in the pool and they're like, you smoke in front of your kids? I'm like, well, how else are they going to know that this is okay? When, Zachary's mom and dad are sitting there saying, oh my God, you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't do this and you shouldn't do that and you shouldn't smoke this.
Hypocritical.
Yeah. while they're hiding in the closet smoking, you know.
Well, my 16-year-old told me he wanted to smoke, and I explained to him, like, what it was like, and I told him,
roll him a joint.
He said,
him.
but I told him, I said, listen, he's highly athletic, he's very advanced, like academically and stuff like that, and there's things that he's trying to accomplish, and I think that for someone his age trying to accomplish things that he's accomplishing, that I told him that I felt like cannabis would slow him down.
Right.
And
like anything else, when you're 18 or old enough, you decide if you want to do that.
That's what I told him.
Like
That's what I told him. When you're in a space that you're out of high school and you got into the college you want to get to, and you're done with baseball and all of that, then because athletically smoking is inhaling a tobacco product, or even like what you're gonna roll it in, or the smoke is just not good for his performance or his lungs. And
for your lungs.
I just explained it to him that way.
I think it's very important that everybody understands something. Not everybody's going to raise their children the same way. And that's okay. We all find our pockets on how to deal, because we're raising these new individuals that their life is being written as they grow. And what will work for Frankie may not work for Francine. And that's totally cool.
Yeah.
But I think it's direly important that we all understand we have different ways of being parents, right? And some of us may feel, you know what? If they're in the know, it can go. And some of us feel like, you know what? Wait till you're in a position where you understand the responsibility first and foremost, and how to manage your life, so that it's not just, I'm going to just be blowing it down every day.
Yeah,
right?
I know.
It's very important that people understand that when it comes to our children, we must be aware of their awareness and understanding that these people, they could be 14, they could be 18. I've seen 18-year-olds that couldn't wash their own ass.
Yes.
And I've seen 40-year-olds that don't know how to wash their ass.
And I've seen 14-year-olds manage a household, clean, cook, do everything.
Yeah, my son's like that, so I just didn't want him to deter, have like, cannabis use deter him from where he's going.
Right. Well, you understand who he is.
Yeah.
My situation, my daughter is 9. So being that, our logo alone has a big cannabis leaf like right on it. When I took her to we did a radio show. So she sat outside the room, but there was a window, and I gave her my phone. So through the window, she was able to see us. Later on that evening, I'm going through my phone, and she recorded. So she was recording. Now we were in a box where we couldn't hear her. So she's talking as she's recording, and she's
things
like,
that she's saying.
She goes,
I love
so
it.
cute. So this is Canna Kitchen. This is my mom's business, and their food is excellent. You gotta try it. So her voice is, as she's recording, she's talking about it. The other day she comes over and she goes, when Bertha comes, I'm gonna tell her about my ideas for your cupcakes, because I think we should do like vanilla cupcakes. And
I love it.
Like she hears the saying, using the words infused. She hears the words cannabis. She hasn't put it together yet. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had a joint in my ashtray, and the house was smelling when we walked in. So when she walked in, she goes, "It smells like Nana's house," her grandmother. I'm like, "Oh yeah, why?" She goes, "I don't know. There's a smell. It smells like Nana's."
It's them skunks that be out in front.
Okay. So I mean, I want to be transparent. I don't hide it. Like it's out. My cards are out. The logos, the T-shirts. There's stuff around the house. And she sees it, and I don't make it taboo. Like when I'm making the can of sugar and stuff like that. That it has the alcohol. So I'm like, you smell the alcohol? There's alcohol. This isn't for kids. You can't.
Yeah.
And she's 9. So she's like, all right, mommy says no, then it's no. You know what I'm saying? So right now I still have it under control because she's only 9. But I'm going the route of trying to be transparent, because she's in school. She's got her peers. Somebody's going to say something one day.
What I like the most is that my kids have watched me become like an entrepreneur, whether it's selling cannabis or what. And what that has done for my children's mindset has been unbelievable. You know, so and that's what I think the cannabis industry for more, you know, like it's bigger than just cannabis for me. You know,
Right.
So let me ask you two, why don't you tell everybody about Penthouse, where it started, and what are you guys looking to do from now into the near future?
Okay, you know how we came up with the idea to the Penthouse. I woke up one day, and don't ask me why I went on Craigslist, right? I went on Craigslist and I saw this space, and I'm like, oh my God, this is so cool. I was like, call him, let's go there, call him. I'm like, all right, fine. And you know, it was just so easy. It was sort of like we said again, like the universe, because we walked in there, the lady was super, super chill. We're like, hey, this is what we want to do. Yeah. We're like, and this is what we want to do, and this is how we want to pay you. And she was just like, yeah, sure, not a problem. We're like, what?
The universe.
Like, yeah. And then we were like, should we take it? We're like, let's take it, let's run with it. And that was before everybody started coming out with all their lounges. All these lounges started like popping up across the city, and every smoke shop. That was before all of, you know, everybody even started coming out with all of that. So, and just came about. We were like, okay, we have the member base, we have the resources. We really wanted to open the Penthouse because we used to go to all these other places and the sessions, and we would feel like outcasts. Why? Or we would go, you know, I don't know. I don't feel like I fit into those spaces. Like, but not outcast, but just I feel uncomfortable.
Okay.
I feel like they're not welcome. It's like, what sesh have you been to? That they're like, hey, how are you? Welcome. How you doing? You know, and it's like, I'm on a certain caliber of business. Like I do a certain, you know, like, how can I explain it? Like,
you conduct yourself a certain way when
I conduct myself a certain way, you know, and it's just, there's rooms of people that I just don't want to sit in. And I found that there wasn't a room in the cannabis space that I wanted to sit in. So we made our own. And that's how the Penthouse came about.
Yeah.
Build it, they will come.
For a long time, you know, we would go to these sessions, and I you know, I'm a pioneer in this industry, and I can say that proudly. People who know me will tell you the same thing. Back in 2016, 2017, and even to date, I've thrown some of the largest cannabis parties in this industry in New York.
Oh, we threw a dope 420 party.
I throw some pretty amazing parties.
A COVID 420 party to remember.
1,200
people in a Brooklyn warehouse.
What?
It was fly.
We had rappers and artists performing. We had actual concert production and stage. And, you know, one of the things that, like I said, people will tell you is that, you know, as a person in this industry, as an entrepreneur and a pioneer in this industry and an advocate for cannabis, I've always prided myself on providing an experience for people in this industry, whether you be a consumer or a vendor or, you know, a colleague, whatever it might be. You know, it's always been about an experience, and the number one thing for me was always safety. You know, you go to a lot of these sessions that, you know,
you gotta go running out. You get robbed.
I used to be a part of them. You know, like I started a lot of these sessions. I won't mention any names just to, you know, not draw any attention to those people. But, you know, we've drawn a lot more than, you know, 5 handfuls of sessions underground that were over, you know, 500 people at a time. But then I started throwing these parties in hotel penthouses.
That's how we got the Penthouse name. Oh my God! And
so I would throw these parties every month. I would rent out a penthouse in a different hotel, and I would have all my members come, and I would buy food, and I would have high-end security, and we would offer, you know, drinks and give people pre-rolls and just provide a full buffet of cannabis products. And people would come and mingle like they were at like a party, a regular party, instead of running in, trying to purchase something and running out because they didn't feel safe or because the room was becoming, you know, overwhelmed with smoke. It wasn't like that, you know. And for me, it's always been about a vibe and providing an experience for people to come and be a part of the culture, be a part of the community, build a community. That's why I have a member base of over 1,500 people. I've been doing this for a super long time, over 20 years. And so, you know, in recent years, the more we got closer to legality and, you know, legalization on the West Coast, the stronger I went, and the harder I went into providing that space. And then, you know, when I met Lina, you know, it was like a no-brainer, like, hey, I would love for you to help me take on these adventures. And not only do I want you to help me take them on, but I want you to be the face and the forefront of everything that we're doing. And I want you to put your visions and your dreams and, you know, your ideas to life in this industry and in this space. And that's really how we started working together, you know, and becoming that dynamic of where, you know what, you take care of that. And if you have any issues, just let me know, you know, because there was times, you know, in the retail phone, like she was saying earlier, where, you know, she would pretend like she was a dude. And then there's time, you know, but she always had respect for everybody. And she wasn't like, oh, hey, bro, you know, or this and that. She would always talk back with respect. And when people got out of line, you know, these are my members. And I would have to call them and be like, yo, my man, you know, you're talking to a lady on that line, right?
And guys will call back like, I didn't know you were a girl. I'm so sorry. No problem, man.
You know,
We're good.
we're not going to tolerate that because we're trying to be a community. We're trying to be a family. It doesn't matter how many people are a part of that, whether it's, you know, a 5-person family community, 1,500 people, 5,000, 15,000, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, you know, number one thing is respect. And when you come to our space, we always want everybody to feel safe and welcomed, you know, and that's one of the things that Lina has done in that space is provide a vibe and an experience for people. And one of the things that I offered her was that safety, you know, bringing in my security and letting people know like, hey, you might feel a little violated at the door when you walk into security, but at the end of the day, people out here are real grimy. Whether, you know, it's a fact or not of who you are, I don't really know that. You may be one of my members and I may have served you and you've been a client of mine for 5 years, but deep down inside, I really don't know who you are. And so I can't put I can't jeopardize, you know, everybody else that comes to this event by letting you slide because I think I know you. So everybody goes through the same treatment, whether I know you personally or through business. You know, safety and providing that vibe and experience is very important for us.
Of course, that goes a long way, and that's what's going to bring the people back. Like,
the happy customers
and they're also
are returning customers.
No, but that's the side of the business that a lot of people don't talk about. Like a lot of people go on these podcasts and we talk about everything that's pretty, everything that's, you know, beautiful and, you know, yes, educational and whatever, but like it's real, it's ugly out there. There's downsides to the,
especially right now, people are hungry.
To
people
the community
right
and
now.
things
out.
Yeah, definitely right now. And the thing about it is that it's mainly a cash business from like for the most part.
Yeah, for
right?
the most part.
Yes.
Yeah. So that makes it very like you have to be about your business in that aspect and being secure. And not only
People
that,
also catch delusions.
yeah, exactly. You know,
you set the bar, you set the level of what you're willing to tolerate and what is absolutely not tolerated, and people are going to because they know where they stand, they know what they're dealing with, and like you said, go for an experience. If I come in and my experience is all right, I may have been violated, but so did everybody else that walked through that door.
100%.
Well, our members are like, you know, our members already know, like it's sometimes you know, sometimes it's like real early and I'm there alone or something like that. And even when I'm going to open the door, the members come to the door. I open the door. They're like,
you know the drill.
Yeah.
You know the drill.
Yeah, you know,
Bend over and call.
It's like you said, it's creating that standard, you know, and letting people know that it's going to be like that every time you come, especially when, you know, I throw an event or she throws an event. It's something that we have prioritized in this business is making sure the safety of everybody that walks through that door is the same, not only for us.
So everybody get ready for the event Saturday. Y'all know.
Yeah. I think
this is a little different.
It's a little
different. You know, the ladies are throwing their event.
And we're also in the like I was telling you guys prior to the podcast, we're in the transition. We're transitioning the space into a cigar lounge.
Right.
You know, we are still supporting the cannabis community, and we are 420 friendly. But we are looking towards transitioning the Penthouse into a legal consumption cigar lounge, just to tie it into some of our projects we have in DR. like the tobacco farm and factory and stuff like that.
What's
And
the brand? What's the brand name?
So the name of the cigar factory is Tabacalera Pasión, Dominican and Nicaragua.
Yo, look
The
at him, son,
name
flexing
of
that accent there. Do that shit again,
Your
Mo.
Spanish is real good.
Yo,
Hey, I
you
told
ain't getting that sofrito lately, you know? Changing the game.
you,
Uh-huh.
you adapt when you in
Of
business.
course.
You need to adapt, and you need
Facts.
to.
Gotta be a
And he loves it the most when we go there because we go there several times a year, being that we have so many things going on. And I stay real quiet when I meet people that I don't know, and I let them talk.
And they think he's a gringo, and they
I
be
let
like,
them
"Oh, pero este
talk, and
gringo
they
no
let me
sabe
talk.
nada." And
And
I'm
then
like,
at the end
okay.
of the conversation, él no entendió nada, ¿eh? And I just like, no, I understand everything.
That
Yo entiendo muy bien, gracias.
No, o sea, como el hispano, mira, este gringo no entendió nada. No entendió nada este gringo. Ah, tú sabes.
We
And then
are
he's like,
generally in Santiago.
Santiago, okay.
They're like, coñazo.
Mira, maldito cabrón. Mix it together. Mix it up.
So
So
yeah,
the-
we do a lot of business, out there, and it's important for us to put it all together.
Yes.
The name of the company is, like I said, Tabacalera Pasión, Dominican and Nicaragua. The name of our brand coming out of there is El Fulao Cigars, which is a very spiritual term, meaning cigars. For people that know. For people that don't, just rock with it. Trust us. I'm sorry?
El Fulao Cigars.
El Fulao Cigars.
Sounds like a song. El Fulao. El Fulao.
That's what we're working on next.
Yo, wait. We're doing spaces. We're doing cigars. What we working on? We making an album? What's going on?
I mean, anything's possible today,
Hey.
I wake up in the morning and I'm like, hey, Lina, what do you think of this?
No, branding is important for your brand.
Yes.
And like it's like everything. It's like, you gotta have a catch song, you gotta have a commercial, content. Like it's so crazy with the internet. And it's like never ending.
Yeah.
But I'm really, really excited. And it's not like the end of an era for the Penthouse. It's just transitioning,
this is the beginning of a new chapter for the Penthouse. We are still very, very cannabis friendly. It's an expansion of the Penthouse. Let's say day-to-day business. Our members are still our members. Our members are still going to be there.
Well, we do have a
day.
members only area. A part of our lounge is still a members only area.
So as the ladies know, our Penthouse is loft type of effect. We are a duplex. So our upstairs area is strictly for members only. And we have a backyard. We have a back patio, 2 separate backyard spaces, outdoor spaces in the backyard. Which provide more privacy and a sense of being able to go outside and and mix and mingle, and like Lina said earlier, people that are in the the lifestyle of smoking tobacco are generally okay with smoking cannabis products, and people who smoke cannabis are okay with the tobacco world.
They go hand in hand.
It kind of goes hand in hand, and I recently stopped smoking cannabis, but I smoke cigars now, and it's become something that I've started to enjoy more.
Cigar lounges are it. The vibe in there, and just the environment and networking environments that they provide. I think it'll be great for our community and our space.
And that's also.
What did I tell you about my idea, Ernest? Remember?
Been for the longest.
Yeah.
A cigar lounge.
The cigar.
I'll talk to y'all off the air about it. But we could definitely work on something.
No, and I'm really excited. Like we're working on, not that we're transitioning from the cannabis industry to the tobacco industry. It's just kind of like an annex of like what we have going on.
It's an addition.
It's an addition.
It's a marriage of a new look for you guys.
Yeah,
absolutely.
We're working on like a small batch tobacco product for the cannabis user.
Nice.
Which I'm really, really excited about. So
let me ask.
Tell you, excited came across you,
guys,
and I want to thank you for answering. I mean, guys, seriously, like I just sent her a message. I'm like, your place is dope. I saw it on Instagram, but when we went there personally, come on.
Yeah,
like,
I fell in love with the place.
Yeah.
I was like, this is it. The look.
Us both being in the hospitality industry and the food service business for many years, We understood from day one that customer service is the most
It's
important
A1.
thing
A1.
in owning a business that goes hand in hand with public service.
Amazing.
Yeah.
What are your Instagram and stuff? Can you just drop that for everybody?
Sure. The Penthouse Cafe, it's the.penthouse.cafe with 2 F's. Lina is also High Times Mama on Instagram, and my Instagram is Mo.B Dank, Mo.B.Dank.
I wanna also get this out on the table. How does one become a member? Can you tell everybody the exact address to the place?
So you can Google the place. The
We're
place is
listed on Google. Yeah.
We get searched over 25,000 times a month.
Wow.
We have a lot of people that come to the door and we refuse them. If you don't come with somebody that we know, it's a vouch process. If we don't know you personally, or if someone that we know is already a member brings you, then you're gonna have a real hard time coming in.
Okay.
Once you are inside the Penthouse, we have a membership form that everybody has to fill out. It doesn't matter who you are or what relationship we have or how long we know you. There's information that you need to put on there just the same way you would fill out a membership to your gym or anywhere else. And it's what I tell people is if you're willing to know where I am, then I need to be willing to know where you are, or you need to be willing to let me know where you are in case some shit goes down. You can come find me any single time, but I would have a real hard time finding you if I don't know where you are, right? So I need to protect myself, and again, protect everybody that's inside that establishment. Someone comes in and they act recklessly, it's going to be real hard for you to get away from us if we have all your personal information. And we're not disclosing that information to anybody else. We're not like telemarketers or credit card companies that are sending you phone calls.
No, we have a website
you're
database that keeps all of that information for us.
We send people text messages.
You ask for shoe sizes, Mo?
What's that?
Mo, do you ask for shoe sizes? Make them some men's shoes. They'll make this pair of some men's shoes for this guy over here.
No, I'm real peaceful, man. I'm not about the violence. Those days are over in my life.
Mo, it's pouring out of you as we speak. I get that real peaceful.
Yeah, man.
Mo, you're not smoking, Mo. You're not smoking. You might get a little crazy.
Yeah,
listen, you push my buttons the wrong way, anything can happen. But that goes for whether I'm smoking or not. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Give you a smack.
I try to keep the violence to. I let Lina handle the violence.
I am the aggressor.
She is the aggressor. She's like, yo, I'm gonna that motherfucker. I'm like, yo, girl, relax. Let's talk to them first. She's like, nah, Mo, nah. I'm gonna smack that mother. I'm like, damn, girl. You're like, that's the Dominican that comes out of her real quick.
Oh wow.
Real quick.
Talk after.
Yeah. Let me give him a
starts talking real fast. I don't even know what she's saying sometimes.
So as long as you're with somebody who is a member or somebody that knows you, once you enter the database, you're considered a member. Is that what you're saying?
Considered a member. We don't charge for memberships.
Okay.
We don't ask for any money up front. That's not our thing. We're not making memberships to support what we're doing. We're creating memberships to build our community. And a lot of people, even some of these places that when you go to, they charge you at the door. They're trying to charge you at the door, whether it be $50, $10, 40 cents. I don't care.
We don't charge at the door.
We don't charge. If there's a private event and that private event is charging, we tell all of our members to support that event because that's them supporting us. And you're being introduced to something different than what the Penthouse is doing, than what Mo.B Dank or High Times Mama is doing at the Penthouse. And it also allows you to network with new people, and that's important. It's important for all of our members. Again, we're not trying to make money in this industry and run away. We're trying to support the community, build the community, and help spread knowledge and awareness and educate the consumer on, this beautiful plant that a lot of people don't understand is already a part of you from day one when you're born into this world. And it's only going to help you, if you do it right and you take the time to educate yourself, you can really get a lot of benefits from this plant, whether it be from smoking it or digesting it or, through consumption of edible consumption. You know, a lot of people are like, oh, you know, I have cancer, or my mom's got cancer and I've been giving them edibles. I'm like, yeah, that's great. But, you know, the same way that you're giving them edibles, you're also hurting them by with all that processed sugar and the
Yeah.
gummies and all that other. So again, you're providing a Band-Aid. That's great, but educate yourself a little bit more and find out where you can get a more natural pull from the plant, so that you're not just covering up. You know what I mean? It's so you're actually getting the benefits of the plant. And so our members understand that we are very educational based. Anybody can call me. Anybody can come to the Penthouse and have a conversation with me. I'll never turn down a conversation about cannabis, or what the benefits of cannabis are, or if someone's going through something personally, or health issues, or whatever it might be. We're always going to have that door open for our members, or anybody that just reaches out to us, you know, and wants to talk about that, because it's the number one thing that's important to us, aside from the safety, the vibe, and the experience that we provide.
You can become a member online, though. We have our website, thepenthousecafe.com. There is like a membership form through there.
It's just a little more vigorous.
It's a little, you know, just actually do some questions.
And it's not guaranteed that you're going to become a member.
And then after, you know, they come through, we do vet them. Like I usually call the person on the phone, hey, how are you? And things of that nature too. And they usually, like, you know, very rarely too, I do get online submissions, but what they do is they usually have referrals. Like somebody usually sent them, you know?
Right.
So.
Well, I can tell you this right now. Once the show is over, I'm going to be processing 3 memberships. Me just to show up because I can't smoke. My wife and my son.
You smoke cigars, right?
Yeah.
We would love to have you try some of our cigars.
Listen, I'm coming. Mo, I want to know that you're competing with David off, brother. I need to know that those cigars is coming in, you know what I mean, with that flavor.
You know,
what's your favorite cigar?
Really, a Romeo and Juliet.
Wow.
You know what's crazy is that I actually don't like that cigar.
Really? Do you like Davidoffs?
I enjoy a Davidoff. I've watched their documentary. They had a 2-hour documentary on YouTube. I watched the whole thing. You know, in the last 3 months since purchasing the Talk-Lina, I have really dived into, you know, the knowledge and awareness of the tobacco industry, the cigar industry mainly, and the companies that are in the industry, you know, because a lot of these companies started off as one small guy, you know, rolling cigars for himself and his friends. And now, you know, just like Davidoff, they own 15 mega farms all over Santo Domingo and Santiago and, you know, the Dominican Republic. They left Cuba to go to Dominican Republic. And the way that they do things and the process and the way they do things is very, very top notch. You know, and that's something that I want our brand and our company to replicate. Not, you know, exactly, but I want us to have that sense of pride and that sense of, you know, of what we need to do to provide that for our consumers.
You want to have that operational structure to get the best product for your customers. Ladies and gentlemen, if you just
we could be guinea pigs.
If you're just joining the show, you're shit out of luck. I want to thank first and foremost Lina and Mo of the Penthouse Cafe for giving us their time. And we really appreciate them for bringing on.
Thank you.
And as always, the Canna Kitchen ladies, Canna We Talk is always something interesting going on. And of course, my partner, Mr. Celi Sasson, for actually getting out in the car and joining the show. He wasn't going to be with us tonight, but he's here. But I would like to encourage everybody, if you can, go over to the penthouse.com. It's the penthouse.com?
It's the Penthouse Cafe with 2 F's.
Penthouse Cafe with 2 F's. One is for fuck. And go process your membership, right? These people are cultivating a community in Brooklyn where most of us are from, have been born and raised, and we want to support that. You know, these are small businesses that are on the rise, and these are people that are creating an environment that's welcoming to everybody. So we want to make sure that we support them in some way, shape, or form. And we also want to come out and support this Saturday for the ladies of Canna Kitchen. I'm going to say it again. Their products are amazing, from the desserts to the food. Like amazing tasting food. You don't taste the cannabis. They actually cook very well.
So I've had the empanadas and the sazon.
Yo, I had the empanadas kept me up to 3 a.m. I was like this.
Sally was a little silly too. I remember
I was out. I was done.
So
I was driving home like.
No, you know, I only had a piece and then I shared with everybody else because edibles messed me up. Edibles really messed me up. Like I don't know. I don't know. And maybe not mess me up is just that I feel like I might be a little bit of a control freak because when I do edibles, what's going on in my head and what's going on in my body is two different things for me.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't. I think that's what freaks me out.
For facts, my OCD kicks in. I eat and then I'll clean my entire apartment and my next door neighbors too, if you let me.
Just so many things go on with me when I have edibles, so I try to be real careful with them. Like 10 milligrams is where I'm comfortable at with edibles.
All right, so can we run the address for the Penthouse Cafe one more time?
Sure. It's 184 Oxford Street in Manhattan Beach, Brooklyn.
Okay.
You can, like I said, you can find us on Google, the Penthouse Cafe. You can follow our Instagram.
The Kings Road College, right?
Yeah, usually if you go Google the Penthouse
College.
Cafe, will come up, you know, our IG comes up, our space is listed, our website.
Yeah.
There's like a few articles, you know, that of NFT events and art events that we've had too out there.
Sure.
Nice.
So yeah, we're not hard to find. We're really not hard to find.
Go over, register, and support these two entrepreneurs, and make sure you come out Saturday night to not only support them, but support the ladies of Canna Kitchen.
Absolutely.
I want to thank you guys so much once again. And I appreciate everybody for coming out to watch the show and gain some information and some insight into this industry. And for all my cigar smokers out there, get ready because there's a new brand coming out. We're definitely going to promote it on the show. And we will be seeing you guys next week, same time. And hey, again, thank you so much, man.
No, thank you guys.
Thank you. Hey, Mr. A, you're going to be there on Saturday?
I'm going to set up. I'm going to be interviewing people.
All right. So we, fingers crossed, we'll have our first
my first cigar shipment.
Cigars dropping on Friday.
What?
And we'll have, hopefully, we'll have some for you to sample that evening. I don't know if Sally Sasson smokes cigars or not, but
I'll try it. I'm down.
There we go. We have a cigar for every person.
Don't brand me with a good time. Okay.
Well, we look forward to it.
I'm looking forward to it. I'll be there with my wife and my son. It'll be a good time.
Awesome.
Ladies, I'm looking forward to the event. Again, thank you everybody for coming out, and we'll see each other soon.
Okay, I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys for having us. Really, it was an amazing show.
Of course.
Put some work together. So this was awesome. Thank you.
We look forward to it.
Okay, thank you so much.
Guys, thank you.
Have a good one, guys.
Okay, bye.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone.